Today, let's chat about two special neighbors in our solar system, Mars and Venus. When Mars is in that wonderful position, it's only 55.6 million kilometers away from Earth in its elliptical orbit. We can even see it with the naked eye, a bright red in the night sky. Back in the 17th century, astronomers noticed some strange things happening on Mars thanks to color changes and structures resembling those on Earth. Soon, the theory of potential life on Mars emerged. If you enjoy our videos, stick around, give us a like, subscribe to Orbitaum, and get ready for the upcoming videos. About the planet Mars. Mars, a rocky planet in the same league as Earth, Venus, and Mercury. However, unlike the larger planets beyond it, Mars has an equatorial diameter of 6,800 kilometers, just half the size of Earth. In composition, Mars is similar to Earth, but its gases are distributed in a quite different manner. The red planet's atmosphere is extremely thin, with minimal traces of oxygen. This thin atmosphere allows cosmic radiation to pass through to Mars without much hindrance. Nevertheless, Mars exhibits remarkable similarities to our planet. A Martian day lasts 24 hours, 39 minutes, and 35 seconds, nearly identical to our day. Mars also experiences seasons, lasting twice as long, as the Martian year spans 687 days, almost double that of Earth's. In other words, Mars takes twice the time to complete one orbit around the Sun. Space probes across Mars. The space probes have done a remarkable job of exploring Mars. Approximately 50 probes have been sent by international space projects to study the red planet. The first successful missions were the Viking 1 and 2, launched by NASA in 1976. Viking 1 remained operational until 1982, while Viking 2 transmitted data from Mars to Earth until 1980. The first Martian rover to land was Mars Pathfinder in the 1990s, followed by the Mars rover Opportunity from 2004 to 2019, and the Mars rover Curiosity from 2010 to present, all on missions to conduct research on our neighboring planet. First signs of life. The first signs of life on Mars date back to the 17th century when the planet was easily observable from Earth. Astronomers of that time noticed peculiar Martian markings. Today, we understand that these are seasonal changes in Mars' polar ice caps, where sunlight warms the layers of ice during the Martian spring, causing carbon dioxide geysers and dark dust. This phenomenon creates distinctive spots and fan-shaped structures. By the mid-19th century, advancements in telescopes allowed astronomers to observe these features more clearly. During this period, there was speculation that these structures could be signs of changing vegetation. In 1854, astronomer William Hewell proposed theories suggesting Mars had oceans, land, and forms of life. In 1877, Italian astronomer Giovanni Schiaparelli identified the markings as Martian depressions, leading to the misunderstanding of the term canali, channels, instead of depressions. This mistranslation fueled the idea of Martian canals and ignited the belief in life on Mars. By 1897, British author H.G. Wells further fueled the hysteria with The War of the Worlds, a story about a Martian invasion. Thus, beliefs and superstitions about life on Mars and Martians became ingrained in our collective consciousness. Recognition through space probes. Nearly 80 years later, humanity was already sending the first probes to Mars, aiming to unravel the mysteries of the planet. Before that, some enthusiasts on Earth attempted radio contact with potential Martian relatives, but there was no response. Finally, in July 1976, the Viking 1 mission sent the first images from Martian orbit. During exploration, the image of a desert planet became clearer than a world full of water and life. However, the photos also revealed some peculiarities that sparked contemplation. The standout feature was the face on Mars, a rocky formation in the Cydonia region resembling a human face. Other bizarre shapes, like pyramids and rectangular structures, were photographed and compared to an Incan city. These images suggested constructions and monuments crafted by alien hands. This prompted NASA to send the Mars Global Surveyor probe for a closer look at Mars. Nearly 2 years later, in 1996, a significant disappointment awaited ufologists and alien enthusiasts. New high-resolution photos revealed that the face on Mars was, in reality, a rocky formation without a defined shape. The optical illusion of a face was merely a perspective angle and the lighting conditions in the initial images. Other anomalies could be explained by similar effects and the action of natural erosion. Nevertheless, the Mars Global Surveyor was the first probe sent into space to investigate extraterrestrial life. In the search for extraterrestrial life, the search for life on Mars continues, even after some disappointments. UFO enthusiasts persist and keep trying to find signs of extraterrestrial life on Mars. The internet is filled with images from recent probes, with some claiming to have found giant bones and Martian faces. Occasionally, wild theories emerge. But, circling back to the burning question, is there water on Mars? Initially, the thin atmosphere suggested that surface water would be challenging. The atmospheric pressure down there is very low. However, the suspicion was that water could exist in deeper layers, like lakes or underground oceans. In 2010, a student stumbled upon evidence of seasonal flows of liquid salty water in the Hale crater on Mars. The source and why it appears only at certain times are still a mystery. Perhaps Mars sweats, pushing liquid from the interior to the surface when it heats up. Thanks to the Mars Express mission by the European Space Agency in 2018, using ground-penetrating radar, the existence of a lake about 20 kilometers wide at the southern pole of Mars was confirmed. The liquid, likely salty water, is hidden beneath a half-kilometer thick layer of ice. With this data, astronomers have crafted a unique image of Mars' past. Around 3.6 billion years ago, the red planet likely had a warm and humid climate with various lakes and watercourses. This could explain Martian depressions and other surface structures. It was later that the atmosphere dissipated and Mars became dry. Indications of organic life. Initial signs of organic life on Mars appeared in photos delivered by Viking 1 in the 1970s, suggesting residues of organic structures. However, laboratory tests showed that such structures could be produced chemically. It was clear that neither humanoids nor more complex forms of life could be present there. Currently, researchers focus on the search for microorganisms, such as unicellular organisms, primitive algae, or bacteria. After all, these organisms form the basis for life as we know it on Earth. A Martian meteorite, ALH 84001, found in Antarctica in 1984, provided new hope. In 1996, researchers found controversial indications of fossilized bacteria in it. However, later studies demonstrated that similar structures could be created chemically. During the 6-year mission of the Mars rover Curiosity around 2010, thiophenes were found on Mars. These complex organic hydrocarbons are almost always of organic origin on Earth. Here, these ring-shaped compounds appear in tar and oil, which are clearly products of the degradation of organic substances. A team from the Technical University of Berlin spent years researching the possible origins of thiophenes. So far, we can only make assumptions, but organic formation is more likely, as it is much more common and straightforward. Therefore, these clues may indeed be traces of Martian conditions more conducive to life in the past. However, it is also possible that they arose through isolated chemical processes. In the end, we still lack specific knowledge, but there are increasingly indications that Mars may have been, in the past, a planet teeming with life. Imagine, a few million years later, only rocks, sand, and deserts remain on the surface. Looking at the future of Earth, scientists paint a very similar picture. In a little while, only stones and deserts might remain of our ancient culture. Do you think that by then, we will have migrated to another planet? If the sun heats up Earth to the point of being unbearable, Mars or another planet could be the solution. What are your thoughts on this? Can you imagine people living on Mars at some point, or exploring space beyond our solar system? Share your thoughts in the comments.